In the late Eastern Han Dynasty, the intertwined power of imperial relatives and eunuchs was so immense that even the emperor struggled to shake it. Consequently, this period saw the frequent emergence of shadow emperors, who, while occupying the throne, held real power in the hands of others, often concealing the true rulers behind the scenes. So, could a manipulated monarch break free and regain power? During the reign of Emperor Shun of Han, Liang Shang, a prominent and influential official, served in the court. He had entered the government that early on through his family's meritorious service. But his career didn't rise quickly. Liang Shang was a man of integrity. After his sister and daughter became concubines, he took the initiative to withdraw from politics, unwilling to cling to power through family connections. Even though his daughter had been crowned empress, his daughter, Liang Nu, was deeply favored by Emperor Shun of Han, and at her strong recommendation, the emperor insisted on promoting Liang Shang to a prominent position. However, Liang Shang repeatedly declined, citing poor health as an excuse. He understood his daughter's intentions to leverage her father's power, to consolidate his own position and elevate the Liang family's prestige. Ultimately, under pressure from the emperor, he accepted the appointment as prime minister. However, upon assuming the position, he refrained from seeking personal gain for his family. He not only diligently performed his duties, but also strictly disciplined his clan members, forbidding them from abusing their power. During famines, he generously donated his wealth to disaster relief efforts. During his tenure, Liang Shang was hailed as a pillar of the nation and a rare example of a virtuous prime minister in the Eastern Han Dynasty. However, he also had a fatal flaw: his weak character. As prime minister, he failed to curb the rampant eunuchs, and instead encouraged his son, Liang Yi, to cultivate their friendships for personal protection. This was a necessary evil. Emperor Shun favored the eunuchs, and with his own family members in the palace, he feared that offending the powerful would endanger his family. So he turned a blind eye to their misdeeds. Liang Shang had two sons, Liang Yi and Liang Bai, neither of whom inherited their father's integrity. With the young emperor ascending the throne, the government was managed by the Empress Dowager. However, less than a year after ascending the throne, Emperor Chong of Han died of a serious illness at the age of 3, leaving no heir. Ministers were forced to choose an heir from among the royal family. This unexpected turn of events provided Liang Yi with an opportunity to further control the government, believing that his support for the new emperor would further solidify his power. Furious, Liang Yi soon ordered the emperor's food poisoned. The 9-year-old Emperor Ji of Han, suffering from unbearable abdominal pain, died in public. Although court officials knew Liang Yi was responsible, they lacked evidence, and no one dared to investigate. Soon after, Liang Yi sought another new emperor, the 15-year-old Liu Ji. Previously, Liu Ji was a marginalized, distant relative of the royal family, with no chance of inheriting the throne. Thus, he was deeply grateful to Liang Yi for his help in ascending the throne and obeyed his every command, becoming another perfect puppet. To consolidate his control, Liang Yi betrothed his sister, Liang Bai, to Liu Ji as his wife. At this point, the Eastern Han court fell completely under the control of the Liang family. The harem was led by Liang Bai. Government affairs were handled by Empress Dowager Liang Nu, and officials were under the sway of Liang Yi. Had nothing unexpected happened, the Liang family would have likely become a powerful, influential imperial family. Liang Yi, who hadn't yet fully assumed power, was forced to admit his mistakes and submit to Sun Shou's orders. As a key figure in the intersection of power between the Liang and Sun families, Liang Yi's weaknesses became the family's fatal weakness. Sun Shou exploited this opportunity to profit the Sun family, gradually filling key positions at court with his own people, and his influence grew. The Liang family now held only Emperor Liu Zi as their last remaining talisman, and to replace him, Sun Shou needed to bring Emperor Huan under his control. So, Sun Shou exploited Liang Yi's influence to bring his cousin, Deng Mengnu, into the palace. Despite her fierce name, Deng Mengnu was actually gentle and demure, long suppressed by Liang Bai. Emperor Huan, having never encountered such a gentle and considerate woman, quickly fell in love with her. Despite being empress, Liang Nuiying gradually fell from favor. She sought justice from her brother, Liang Yi. But Liang Yi, knowing that Sun Shou was behind the case, hesitated to intervene. Liang Nuiying ultimately died in loneliness and resentment. Following her death, Deng Mengnu was naturally enthroned as empress. By then, Empress Dowager Liang had already passed away, leaving Liang Yi alone to support the Liang family. To reverse the situation, Liang Yi decided to eliminate Deng Mengnu and regain control of the emperor. But before he could do so, he had to eliminate her mother. Since Deng Mengnu's mother was still alive, Liang Yi dispatched assassins. However, the assassins were incompetent, and their attempts to scale the wall alerted the neighbors, mistaking them for rebels. They cried out, waking the entire neighborhood. Deng's mother, taking advantage of the chaos, fled to the palace for help. Upon learning of her mother's danger, Deng Mengnu desperately sought the help of Emperor Huan of Han. Liu Ji, now 28 years old, had been a puppet on the throne for 13 years. Since ascending the throne at the age of 15, he had initially intended to accept his fate and live out the rest of his life in peace. But Liang Yi's actions utterly infuriated him. he secretly summoned 5 of his trusted eunuchs to Tio the toilet and whispered who could eliminate Liang Yi. Initially shocked, the eunuchs quickly recommended several ministers that with whom Liang Yi had a long-standing grudge. Under Emperor Huan's covert guidance, these 5 individuals quickly contacted relevant officials, who were then promoted and ordered Tio lead the palace guards and the imperial guards to Tio attack Liang's residence, intending to capture the unsuspecting Liang Yi. Sensing the situation and realizing his fate was lost, Liang Yi drew his sword and committed suicide. Sun Shou, deprived of his support, also committed suicide by slashing his throat beside him. Following this campaign, Emperor Huan not only eliminated the long-held power of the imperial relatives, but also seized a vast amount of wealth, suddenly enriching the imperial treasury.